I just was looking at Facebook. I woke up and I have one of these groups that I stumbled upon and I wanted to show you. It's not the group that's the problem, it's what people say. So, this is just like a fan thing for Nick Shirley, right? And it says, I love my fans, my whole heart, or whatever. And anyway, what would you do if this man was outside your door? Simple, right? Simple. Anybody, I mean, you can guess anything ranges from here. So we got comments for people saying, I'd grab my rifle, which I reported, by the way, because I mean, that's just still a threat against the president. I have no idea what these people are so brazen for. And they just think they're entitled because they're hidden behind a screen. But I just want you to see how often this is. So here's a couple that was after mine. Ask for all the tax money back and given to illegals, please, sir. I mean, I guess. I mean, that's not necessarily his. He's not going to be able to give you your tax money back, bro. So like, I'm close to saying like that's harassment because what would he do? I mean, do you guys even understand what the office of the president is? He's the commander in chief. He doesn't just put money in your pockets. Okay, so invite him in. Yeah, that's fine. Come in and ask him some questions. I mean, depends on if you're harassing them. Harassing them, then boom, yeah. Invite him in for a homemade meal. That's great. I'd say, come on in, looking sharp. How's the 15 out of 10 campaign? Let's toast to some champagne or Chardonnay. Making America great. One common sense move at a time. We will achieve it. We will achieve success without the hope people want because we are the hope. We are the light. We are America. Don't let it die. I salute. I is right as he exits into the night after a few sips of the toast, off to save America and inherently the world. So, the only reason why America was great was because we were taking care of the whole world. If we can't even take care of ourselves, how are we supposed to be great and take care of the world? It doesn't work. So, if you guys really truly want world peace and everything, you better get America's S together because we're not going to sit here and be the bottom totem pole when we are the ones that there's a reason there's a world around right now. Because, in my opinion, World War II Nazis were going to take over everyone and just kill everyone. So we're gonna sit here and you're gonna act like we're Nazis. We haven't killed anyone. In my opinion, we haven't killed millions of Jews, millions of a single ethnicity. And how dare you go and say some weird stuff like this? So I mean, this is fine. Like none of these are bad yet. We're gonna get to that. Why I said that. So open it up, invite him in, open the door. Welcome the greatest president the United States has ever had. Yep, he's great because he's not a politician talking out of both sides of his mouth. Yep. He's not just saying one thing and then doing another when he's looking right at you. So come on in, Patriot. That's fine. Invite him in. So I looked through 24 hours of this stuff, and there was only about 5 comments that snuck through if there was an actual monitor, somebody going through here, and I liked every single one of these. So it's not like this is me. Like this is what I would do because I want people to come back to this and read what other people are doing so you know how dangerous society really is. This is a great example to see like what Nick Shirley was up against at that Minnesota thing where he said like, yeah, I'll end you basically. Yeah, that's and then the DHS lights laser hit him right in the head and he said, "Oh, maybe I didn't say what I just said." Well, you know what? Why were you out there even thinking you could go around and saying things that you just said? Yeah, you really should have that laser beam embedded into your head, dude, if you are listening to this. Anyway, here we go. Come on in, Patriot. I'll give him a huge hug and make him a meal for all of us to enjoy. That's great. Oy vey. This house isn't kosher. I don't even know. So, like, I don't even know what that means. So it's like, it's not, this house isn't good. I don't know if that means that I have no idea. I'm actually gonna like guy because I'm gonna go back and question him. Open the door. Like like healthy? I don't know. Okay. Open the door. Seems pretty straightforward. Would you just gonna open the door? That's ridiculous. Okay, anyway, open wide, make him food and hug him. Okay, yeah, but you realize he has Secret Service agents and he's not gonna be able to give hugs to everyone, man. Like that's not. I get it. Your fantasy, whatever. It's a picture. We're addressing this with realism because this is a real platform. Everything that it says is technically directed to the president, even picture of him at somebody's door, even if it's AI. It doesn't matter to me. It's still the thought. It's still the same concept that that guy who went over there and tried to kill him at that speech. This like, I mean, I don't even know his name. I don't care to know his name. But he took his uncle's rifle out and pretended that Trump was a deer or something. Like, I mean, I can't even like associate with people who think that they're that brazen that they're given a gift to help in survival and make ends meet if the world were to come to that, and you're going to use that as a tool to ensure the world comes to that. Why in the world would you ever be so drastic to do such a thing? And this is why I don't believe in somebody like that getting a second chance, because I mean, in my opinion, he had the majority of his life, he was either fed these thoughts or he constantly thought these thoughts. If he isn't rehabilitated, and I mean, this isn't concentration camp talk, folks. This is mental thought. This is, we need insane asylum wards, because people can't just say that since there's a president at the door, you get your rifle. What are you talking about? And I mean, we'll get to it, but I mean, it's got me so heated. Anyway, answer the door, invite him in for a beverage of choice, and have dinner and say thank you for everything. So invite him in, apologize for having a Diet Coke, but offer a Zero Coke. But would offer a Zero Coke. Okay. So you see, some of these people actually know him enough to think that, like, you know, like they're gonna, like, that's what I kind of like. Because if you were the commander in chief and you didn't really have anything to like ease yourself off at the end of the day of a long campaign, and you have somebody like, let's say like Nick Shirley, that you're interested in his research, and then he has a page, a group page, he stumbles upon that, he could see this, like, I mean, so inherently people are looking at this as an opportunity to say some things to Trump. And I think that that's great. It's an exercise of not only faith and character, but you really get to see who these people are, and like, it's really, some of it is really eye-opening, folks. You really got to be careful about who you let into your life. And like, somebody said it recently, like Osmond Gold said it, like as soon as somebody starts mentioning something like flat earth in my life, like I start to distance myself. Like, I can't fathom how we literally have planes circling a globe and you're gonna somehow say we're flat earth. Like, how are we anybody with some common sense and has the access to the internet will know that there is a globe out there. It's not flat because the rendition of your school board needed a flat map. And if you even knew anything at all, you'd know that the map, the continents on the map aren't exactly the right size and everything. So it's just like you're judging everything off of something that's a construct. You're not even, you don't have the full reality of the picture, and you're judging off of a construct. So I mean, in reality, if you were to make war decisions on just a school board map, your units might be hundreds of miles out in the ocean, and not even close to land, because of how they have to make it look. So it's just, common sense says that's where it is on the map, right? But when you know how the map is made, which isn't really common sense, it's intelligence attached to common sense, you would know that it's just a guide. And you just, if you keep going that way, you're going to hit Greenland, or if you keep going that way, you're going to hit the Cape or whatever. And people used to navigating the oceans, and they still do today. If their GPS fails, or if they're in a storm, these people that go around in boat races or whatever, and they yacht around the world, and they try to do it in the fastest time. Sometimes they can't stop if their GPS breaks. They break out the maps, and they got to know where they're going to need to be heading. I mean, it's pretty insane that some of these people have the most sophisticated technology in front of their hands, and yet they won't utilize it for good. They will sit there and they'll pant behind their screens until they're red in the face instead of actually doing something. Now, do I say that this person who says he'll grab a gun, do I want him to go and do something? No, but this is an eye-opening statement that he should be investigated, and maybe his mental evaluation take place before he is radicalized by this left-wing democratic republic that they think that they're just as good as the republic. That the Democratic Republic is not a Republican Republic. Let's get that straight, because we've learned this over the last couple of years. And I wasn't too big into politics, but when we're sitting here and we're giving millions of dollars to somebody who, not just one person, but an entity who is not necessarily going to be able to give that back, how are we going to accept that perpetually? How can we accept this indefinitely? And how can we accept this off the bat? We shouldn't have. That was somebody pulled the wool over our eyes. We said, hey, look, this isn't happening. This is only going to happen to a select few that are refugees and asylum seekers. But now I have a video 11 years ago that Somalis were being kicked out of Saudi Arabia for the same thing that they're being talked about today in the United States. Now, when they were kicked out 11 years ago, don't you think when Biden opened up the borders, they came running over here? I believe so. I take two and two to add that up. It may not be the same families. It might definitely be the same culture, though. So we definitely got to look at this from more than just a race thing and what is their culture? What do they stand for? The Somalis, in my opinion, all I've heard over the past 20 years is Somali pirates this, Somali is bad, boom, boom, boom. So we feel bad and we invite people out of their bad life into our life, and they make our lives that are good bad because they just want and take and they ask and ask and ask. But when the people who don't ask for anything get tired of hearing everybody that's asking for everything, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to want them to go. They're going to say, hey, why are you here? I'm not asking for anything, and you're coming over here and you're asking for everything. How is this possible? Do you really think that we are capable of just giving a whole continent like money forever? What are you talking about? We can't even do that for ourselves. We can't even. It's clear to show you how much fraud is rampant in our government that we can't control money ourselves. Why would we be giving these people access to a check, a staple, anything permanently when they would just get hooked on that because, or send it back to some place where that money is worth way more and they don't even have to do anything? They might even be visiting back to Somaliland and they're claiming asylum. How is this possible? We're going to continue because I got off on a slight tangent, but this is what I'm trying to get at. There is stuff out here, folks, that I'm calling the rabbit hole. If you fall down the rabbit hole and you find out the real reasons why Americans are upset, you might want to be on the side of the real American and not the American who thinks that they're doing the right for America by making sure that we look like we're some type of politically correct country, when in the reality of it all, we fought the one that was the politically correct country in World War II, Germany, who said that they were the best of everyone and went around killing everyone. Just because we liked their scientists, because their scientists were grounded and they weren't into that orthodox stuff, we took them and we are now the best in the world at what we do with rockets and everything because of this. And we have everything in our lives and our worlds because of this, the GPS, including Wernher von Braun, Paperclip, Operation Paperclip. We would not have had these people if you sat there and you thought that their life goal was to kill Jews. Theirs was not. They were scientists. And their families did not grow up to just think that Jews were people to be killed. They understood that they were given a second chance. And how dare you say that the rest of us are damn near blasphemers like Nazis? I am appalled by this statement. And I can no longer sit by and think that these people are my humans. They're not my humans. If you want to become a human race that's not you, I mean, this is satanic, folks. This is a whole nother breed. So we really got to distinguish what is righteous in some people's minds isn't really righteous in other people's minds. And I'll talk more and more about that because they think, anyway, when they're stealing from Christians or whatever, they think it's a good thing. So they're taking our kindness for weakness, and we're allowing it because, what, we're the richest country in the world and we can just do whatever we want. We should just allow this. We should coddle this and assume that it's okay for the next generation to have to pull their hair out and wonder why were they given these cards? Why? My dad was born in 1950. I was born in 1995. Do you really think that if I was born in 1950 and saw those cards that I would think we're anywhere near where we are today? No. That's why I'm such a place where I'm at. I'm able to see things from the side of, hey, look at where they were and look at where we are. It's not just, let's make it great again. It's what happened. It's not just, what can we do to fix this? It's, let's never make this happen again. This is off the rails. Speaking of the rail, in California, that rail from Gavin Newsom is a sham, and that should have been stopped a long time ago. That should have been a red flag. You don't need billions of dollars for a high-speed rail that triggers on a fault line. This is a San Andreas fault line that is supposedly the most volatile places in the world once it goes. Do you want to put one of the most expensive pieces of machinery, and you're going to say, oh, we're making these tubes, so when the earth shifts, it's going to be okay. It's not the point. It's not the point. When people are flying in there, you're saying that the earthquake is going to be sensed immediately and it's going to stop. I know trains don't stop immediately. You're going to tell me that because it's magnets that it's going to be able to stop sooner. Where is the small version? In civil engineering, we do scale. Where is the small version? I haven't seen a small version. And we're giving all this money to corporations in Spain who's not even Americans. What are we doing? What are we doing? It doesn't make sense to me. Can you explain to me why we would be giving contractors outside of the US billions of dollars for some engineering feat that they probably don't even know how to fully build? Have they even made a model? Or are they just sitting there saying, yeah, give us the money and we'll get started eventually? Because I'm not going for that. We shouldn't be going for that. That's been 15 years in the making. I'm 30, and this thing has been going around saying that it's going to be built for half my life. And you're going to, how dare you? Still, when I'm 30 and I'm going to be getting into politics, and you're going to just say that we've finally broken ground laying tracks for the logistics site to start this high-speed rail. Just the logistics. We're not laying the first high-speed rail. He's pulling the wool over your eyes, again, like a politician would. So in my opinion, if you are judging everything by its face cover, its face value, like my teeth are rotten, so right, I must not know anything. I must be a complete blithering nincompoop because I don't get to the doctor or whatever. I've had this since I was very young. It's kind of hard to talk about it. It was on a freaking elementary school field. I was getting water and somebody was throwing rocks at a girl. A girl threw a rock back at the guy and it hit me. Because I was getting water, I was walking in between it. This is situational awareness, folks. I was taught situational awareness at such a young age that it's sad seeing all this stuff happen now in real life, and people are just doing their own lives. They don't know what's happening, and I'm left with a scar or consequence. This was capped, but then what happened was a few years ago during COVID, people were driving around drinking, and Joshua Tree downtown past the saloon late at night. I was riding my bike, had my headphones on like I normally did. Thank God I noticed that some lights weren't stopping at the stop sign. And if I didn't latch on, fly over my handlebars to my front disc brake on my bike and just eat it, I probably would have been hit by that car and died. So having near life death experiences and then being constantly reminded about that every day, sure, I wouldn't call it radicalized, but it definitely opens your eyes. So here we go. Open the door. Open wide. Make him food. And hug him. Yep. Answer the door. Invite him in for a beverage of choice. Have dinner. And say thank you for everything. Yep. Apologize for having a Diet Coke, but offer Coke Zero. Yep. Invite him in and grab a brew to toast to his honor. Similar. Invite him in and talk. Great. Roll out a gold carpet. That's awesome. Thank him on Americans' behalf. Thank you for fighting for us. Of course. McDonald's and a big glass of Diet Coke. You see, this is what I mean. If that's what makes the guy happy, what are we doing? You know, like, when people judge somebody like that, like, oh, they only want to eat McDonald's. I heard the thing, like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, because you're eating from a fast food doesn't make it safer. What he was probably trying to say was that there's more ability to make sure that it turns out safe. If you get what I mean, there's more chefs there. Just because, and not to mention $1 million organization. I mean, it's got more joint outlets than anywhere else. What are we talking about here? Of course he's going to want that. It's America. And I guarantee you Russia would be wishing right now that they still had some McDonald's, but they don't. They made up their own and it's not the same. And they're so upset that they can't even replicate the simplest of food chains, let alone do what we can do in a war atmosphere or even just laying precedents down on the global positioning of where we are and what we are doing. Invite him in for dinner, of course. Shake his hand. Thank him for being a wonderful president. Yup. Come on in. Rest of you have done a great job. Oh, rest, you have done a great job. Yep. Space through it. Welcome him in, and offer a meal, giving me time to thank him, and ask how in my small world I could help him. Oh, that's nice. Oh, let's just say we would not, we would know everything about the island by morning. So that's obviously concerning Jeffrey Epstein's island. And I mean, I only like that because, I mean, in my opinion, he did not want to release in the beginning of his first term because he was aiming for a second term, because he knew that they were they were basically forcing him into all these court meetings because of this Russia hoax and all this different types of stuff. So he couldn't do anything in his first 100 days. And to make his presidency look really bad, now that he's here for take two, look what he's done. In the first year, he's taken down 3 of the world's top terrorists. Terror, they're gone. No longer a problem. How many soldiers died? So far, I think 3? Are you kidding me? That's an amazing. I mean, that I don't even understand the odds of that. If you were to tell somebody back when Modern Warfare came out that we got Osama bin Laden without a single loss of life, I would have freaked out and maybe joined then at 13. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this stuff right here is insane. And people thought that we were bluffing. I think it's hilarious. Invite him in. Fix a soda for him and cocktail for me. Go and smoke cigarettes. I don't know. I just seen that one. He's too young. I don't know. I'm just gonna put. That's what I'm putting, folks. That's what I'm putting. One love. All right. Then Israel must be at the back door. Oh, that's. Oh, hold on. Open the door and thank him. Invite him in. I would invite him in and thank him for everything that he's doing for our USA. Dylan, tell him how much we appreciate him. Great. Invite him in. Yep. Let him in and offer coffee. Nice. And another thing is, a lot of people don't understand that in the Boston Tea Party, when we were taxed without representation, we threw all the tea into the bay, and that was our up in the morning. We said we didn't care about up in the morning when we were having to pay our whole wage for the week for some up in the morning. It doesn't make sense. So then they went to coffee. And that's why coffee has been such a big thing in the United States of America since then. Although he would have been a very, very big proprietor of tea, somebody kept charging us a lot for this tea and we just didn't want it. So, bye. Here we go. Ask if he wanted some homemade tacos and thank you for everything. Great. Give him a big hug and welcome him inside of our humble home. Great. Invite him in. Great. Kermit Silcox. Great. Let him in and offer him a meal or something to drink and just be grateful. Nice. You said it all, Joseph. I don't even know. Invite him in and thank him. Give him a big hug and invite him in. Get some rest because we were playing golf tomorrow. What a thrill. Nice. Invite. Oh, that's my POTUS. I might even probably fall face first down the stairs and hop up as quickly as I could to answer the door, ignoring all the pain. Whoa, okay. And shake his hand and thank him for everything he's done for us. Oh my God, that's quite. Invite him in. Fix him up a plate. I'm making dinner. Okay. I would tell him, and this is 3 hours ago, so that's noon, so I don't even know where they would be. I would tell him he's at the wrong house. Oh no. Oh, a big party with the neighbors. Yup. Thank you, sir. Come in. Yup. Let him in. Thank him. Yup. Have him in Uber Mickey D's. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess because it would be safer for him to order it, right? Yeah. Probably short term, pass out, get up, and welcome my favorite president. Nice. Pinch my cheeks, dab on some perfume, and invite him in. Okay. Invite him in, especially Donald Trump. Yup. Thank him for saving our country, then invite him in for dinner. Okay. I would love it. Oh my god, it would be so cool. Thank him. Thank him. Open it and invite him in. I would be so excited and thank him for all he is doing to save America. I love him and Make America Great Again movement. Invite him in for a spell. I would welcome him into my home and thank him for loving America like we do. Let him in for sure. Open the door with wide open arms. Run to Mickey D's, get anything he wanted. He could watch the news, drink a Coke, and relax till I got back and thank him for loving his country. Invite him in, let him in, open it up, welcome him in for a cup of tea. You see, but that's the thing, is like that whole cup of tea is representing taxation without representation, which is kind of the terms that he's doing, which is I kind of understand why you're saying that, but at the same time, you got to be careful there because people are going to think the tea thing is like oppression and all that, like Boston Tea Party. So you got to be careful. I would invite him in for some pizza and Diet Coke. Welcome him in. Open it. Invite him in for some Diet Pepsi. Open the door and welcome him in. Invite him in for a drink. Invite him in. Invite him inside and tell him I stand with him 100%. I'm so happy he is putting America first. We live in the best country in the world. Meet him, greet him, thank him. Love how this country is running, and I am a fan, but it wouldn't be good. I'd get to the bottom of these Epstein files and who is involved and force the actions against them no matter who's guilty. Well, I mean, we wouldn't even had any files if it wasn't for him. So I don't know how much grilling you're going to be getting out of that guy. It just seems like harassment. I wouldn't even be. See, that's the thing here. Is like I get it, but this is the first chance that you probably met the president, and you're going to go out of your way to like talk about the Epstein files. Like, come on, bro. Like, I mean, just think about that for a second. Like, what are you going to do? Are you in the FBI? What are you going to do? Maybe you should do a different job and not just be a Facebook poster if you're going to be saying stuff like this. But I mean, in coincidental, I get what you're trying to get at, just for the sake of the statement. But in my opinion, it's just like a politician offering a solution to somebody, and they don't even, or they're not going to do it themselves. So why? Why say it? Just, or we were going to spark somebody else to do it, right? Like Nick Shirley, we're gonna force Nick Shirley to fight fraud all across America because he was the first one to speak up on it. No, that's not my bug. We're all going to get in on this. All right. Let him in. Offer him in the meal. Okay, need to go pee pee? My dog needs to go to the restroom. Go on. Invite him in and cook him the best meal he ever had. I'd be freaking out from excitement. I don't know if I'd be able to open the door. I'd be so nervous. That is the one person I would actually have a fangirl reaction to. Other celebrities don't make excitement at all. They're just other humans. This is a great man. Come on in. I invite him in and feed him the best Italian dinner ever. Nice, Joe. Let him in, shake his head, and ask him what he would like to drink. Of course, I live in Wisconsin, so I would be an old-fashioned. Let him in and offer him a Diet Coke. I'd panic because the place is a mess. Ask him if he wants to come in for a cup of coffee. See, there you go. DoorDash coffee and Big Macs. We're having a party. I would be very, I would be very excited to meet him and thank him for all he's doing. Invite him in and thank him for loving our country and doing his best to change things. Invite him in. I'd say hello, Mr. President. Welcome to my home. I'd be happy. I'd be so happy and knowing it had to be a good reason he'd be at my door. Oh, okay. Good point. Hug his neck with excitement and ask him if he wanted to get a burger. See, that's often what people are saying. It's kind of like I can't tell like if that's like some like inside joke between like in our comments about the burger shit. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Like, he doesn't like it like that. I mean, you remember when he fed the White House Correspondents' Dinner, right? Like, he didn't just order in McDonald's. He asked people if he wanted steak burgers or something else. I forget what it was, and people were like, "We're going for the burgers." So anyway, love beans. I'm in bipolar Portland. I invite him in to keep him safe. Well, there you go. I will open the door and welcome him into my home. I will thank him always for everything he has done. Let him in. Put all my makeup on. LOL. I would ask him to please come to Canada and straighten this prime minister out. Well, I don't think we can do that. That's not our country. Sit down and talk. Serve a Diet Coke. LOL. Say, come on in. And you know what? Canada, I mean, what is stopping you? What is stopping you from causing a movement of your own? What is it? What is with you Canadas? Like, you snowbirds come down here and you pick on us and you take what you want from our culture and then fly back up to Canada. But now you want help from our president when you should be able to make presidents just like us. Like, it doesn't. I don't understand here, folks. You really got to figure out the corruption up there in Canada, and like, and you got to follow the money too. We're following our money, and it's taken a long time. But I mean, you guys got money too. So I don't understand why you're not instantly doing the same thing. Maybe because it's a world policy, and this is the new world order where we don't want people that have unlimited amounts of money making unlimited amounts of choices for the people who have nothing in their lives, who basically are doing everything for a paycheck to survive. We're not going for that anymore. Welcome him in the course. Kiss the ground he walked on. Release Epstein files and put me in, coach. Whatever, dude. I don't even know if that meant put me in the Epstein files. I don't even. The way he said that, it was just so like not even English. I know put me in, coach, as in like put me in on the team, but like, come on, man. I mean, come on, you gotta rephrase that. Let's talk. Put the coffee on. Ask him in and offer him a Diet Coke. Open the door and cook him a great dinner, and then ask him a lot of questions about his life and loved ones. Well, you see, that's more personal, and I like that instead of it, because I mean, if you think about the president being at your door, he's not really gonna want to like talk about work, right? Like, right? I mean, that's just, unless it's an envoy or something, like that's not. I mean, the president's job never ends. This is all hypothetical. So, like, what I'm trying to get at is, it's like, it's greater that you say something like that because it shows that, you understand what he's supposed to be doing instead he's at your door. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of also the other point that I was trying to make here. Open the door and cook him a great dinner, then ask him questions about his life and loved ones. You see, that right there is more of a down to earth. You're trying to talk to the person and not the role that he plays, right? Okay, so I would hug him and say thank you for everything he has done, making America great again. Feed him. Oh, yeah. Well, okay, that's kind of... Come on, man. There's 2 letters, your 2 words, you feed him, bro. Come on now. This is what I mean. Are you really... You're that ADD that you're just going to put feed him? For real? 9 hours ago for me, that would be... Was it 6 in the morning? Oh, it's because it's 3:43. Anyway, it's like around 6. So feed him. So he needs breakfast. That's why he says feed him. Ask him if he brought the first lady and go to McDonald's. I would thank him for a great job he is doing, and then I would ask him if I can help clean up the swamp in DC and help get rid of the dirty, low-life Democrats that don't want to help make America great again. Nice. I would invite him in. I mean, it's still too much on work, but I like it. I would invite him in, look him in the eye. Sometimes work doesn't like leave you. Okay, so I can understand why you would say that, because you would think you would want the president of the United States to not like randomly be at somebody's house, right? So then you yourself, you'd want to like keep it on point and say, hey, look, if you're here, I'll help you, because this is what I saw you doing last. So like, you see, you can really judge where people are at in their life just between a photo and a comment. Like, it really doesn't... This is psychological, folks. And when we were met with people that want to just go and shoot them with a hunting rifle, like, I'm not even, like, going to support anything, like, near anything dramatic. That's just so satanic. Just the whole concept of, oh, he's the one that's conjuring all this. You really think that man that just said you're fired is the reason why the world is the way it is? And if you think that, then maybe you're the problem, bro. How about that apple? It takes 2 to tangle with that type of crazy shit. Oh, man. I would invite him in, look him in the eye, shake his hand, grab his right arm. Be careful with the touchy-touchy. Thank him and hug him and say, hug him for saving America. And this is an older white male, so he thinks he's probably got, like, bro would never be able to touch the president. You got to back down, dude. Anyway, he is the best president we could ever have. I like that, but just remember where you stand. Come in and shake his hand. Invite him in, shake his hand, and thank him for putting America first. Welcome him in. Make him coffee or tea, make food, and have a meal. Hug and pray for him. I'd ask him to pardon my son Brandon Blackwell, who's currently incarcerated at MDOC in Leakesville, MS. If Biden could do it for Hunter, maybe you can ask him to do it for me. Well, that's kind of up there. I have no idea what that's about, but that seems. I don't know what MDOC is. Blackwell. Blackwell is an organization, but Brian Blackwell obviously is the son of this person, but it's not. It's no relation to like Black. Oh, it's not Blackwell. It's Blackwater. Sorry, but yeah, same difference. Okay, but anyway, open the door and have a great time talking to him. First, I'd cry because I would be emotionally overwhelmed, then shake his hand, and then most likely babble over my words as I try to thank him. As it is, I cry whenever he gives a speech. I'm awed by how amazing our President Trump is. God bless him. Rejoice. I like that. What can I help you with, sir? I mean, that's fine. Like the rejoice one word, that's fine. That says a lot. Rejoice, it shows more than just one emotion. Feed them. And you see what I mean? Like you can still say things with one word and get things done, but the thing is you got to know what to say. All right. What can I help you with, sir? Nice. That's logical. Have a party. Nice. Ask him to liberate Canada from this communist dictatorship government. Nice. Seems like communism is spreading to Canada. Shake his hand, thank him for his love for America, and offer him a beer. Welcome him in and thank him and invite him for a pizza dinner. Let him in and talk with him. Invite him in. Invite him in and thank him for loving America. Pen it up and invite him in for a Diet Coke. Pen it up. As in just write, like talk it up, pen it up. This must be an old term I'm not familiar with. Thank him for all he has done. Shake his hand and invite him in for coffee. Invite him in, lock the doors, and never let him out again. Welcome him in, hug him for all his great work. I would have no words, but I would be filled with joy. I would let him order McDonald's and talk to him. Invite him in for a beer. I would invite him in and thank him. Say thank you. Invite him in, thank him for making America great again. Welcome him. I would say, bless you, Mr. President. Welcome. I would invite him in and order Grubhub, McDonald's. We could sit and have a Coke Zero. I could thank him for a great job. I would be super happy. Welcome, sir. Invite him in. Order a Big Mac. Thank him for turning America into the right direction. MAGA, Golden Age. See? Look at that guy. Invite him in for a sweet tea and Girl Scout cookies. LOL, I have both. Okay. Ask him in for a beer. Invite him in. Come on in, Mr. President. Rest yourself. Rest yourself. Good job well done. Rest yourself. Job well done. Okay. I would invite him in for a meal and thank him for all that he has done for our country. The best U.S. president in my time. Thank you, President Trump. Faint, then let him in and order him McDonald's and thank him for sacrificing his cushy life to save his country. Hug him. I'd ask for him to show proof. Ask him in. Please come in and join us for dinner. You're absolutely amazing. Order us some McDonald's burgers and talk about the destruction of the Democratic Party and peace in the Middle East. That's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, it's just kind of like, I never really liked either party. I mean, I think we should just get this shit done, folks. America does America. We don't need to party this, party that. We're not partying anymore, bro. We're all dying over here. We're dying because we don't see eye to eye anymore. So, do you think it's smart to, like, oh, stand in this corner and you can't even support everything in that corner anymore? I don't think it's a good thing to do that at all. Ever since, where was it? What? Watergate? Watergate? Waterloo? No, that's my drink. Watergate is where Nixon basically bugged the Democratic office because he wanted to know what they were doing before they were doing it. And yeah, that's illegal, breaking into a facility to bug them. And they did that. So it's not something that I like to talk about, but it's something that affects every single person in think that you can get by in life with not having an opinion on any of these subjects, then you are definitely somebody who has their heads in the sand and isn't somebody that should be, let's say, I don't want to say voting, but just think about that. Why, if you don't have an opinion on some of these things and you're voting in the lesser of two evils in your opinion, to somebody else, you're just evil. Okay? You are just the problem. Because, and you're trying to hide behind, oh, I don't do my research and I'm just here voting. Why? That's not what voters did. Back in the day, they knew their policies. They knew what they were going to the voter block for. And they knew how important it was. Now we're trying to make it like, you can't even show me who you are at this voter block, and that doesn't make sense. Like, seriously. In California, this doesn't make sense. We have to stop this. Order some McDonald's burgers and talk about the destruction of the Democratic Party and peace in the Middle East. That was a great one. I'd say, let's go get some McDonald's. Come on in, Mr. President. Would you like a coffee? Open it, of course. Well, duh. Oh, well, why didn't you say anymore? Then, fuck, of course. Open it and ask him to help with NIPSCO. Okay, I gotta go into that rabbit hole. I just took a screenshot of that because I don't know what NIPSCO is. Tell him how much I love and what he is doing for our country, and ask him if he would make my neighborhood great again. Ah. Or don't you think you should just go to a different neighborhood where you don't have neighbors that piss you off? Then you leave all the chaos behind and you don't have to change anyone. Eventually they'll get so bad that they might not even be here in 100 years because they're so wound up. And I don't know if this is the aspect of what America was thinking that they were just going to do. Just let everyone go crazy, and then like we'll just pick the cream of the crop that aren't crazy, and then everybody else will be dead in a couple years. We're all hiding from the crazies. I mean, I don't really understand the whole point. But like, if you see the direction that it's going and you don't say anything to stop it, then you're just as bad as the problem. But like I said, if you do not step one more foot forward and do something about what you think will actually make a point and to stop it, then you're just as bad as the problem, somebody who set the problem in motion, because you're just complacent and allowing it to happen. So here's the deal. We really got to understand that it's not just the name behind the office. The office can function without the name. You have to understand. That's why some people are saying, come on in, Mr. President. Because some people might not want to associate themselves with Trump. They just would like to think that the president was at their house. Now, I can understand that, especially if you're a hardcore religious person and you don't even understand like how he's even alive at this point. But I know why. I know why. Because God uses men across history, people that he thinks are great people, and uses that person and makes them better and greater to benefit. And so the glory is given to God. Do you not think that's what's happening in Iran right now? We've had plenty of better presidents, but did any of those better presidents obliterate the Ayatollah? No, they just let them have their crazy patch of land, and then October 7th happened. And that's not even the Ayatollah. That's just their subsidiary. That's just their mini-me. So we're going to sit there and we're going to bring in Ayatollah's mini-me's that are scared to be living with the Ayatollah, but they grew up with the Ayatollah. So they're basically Ayatollah 2.0. They just don't like all of his views. So if you want to think about it like that, that's the same thing that's happening in America. But now instead of just, we have these two parties, you could hide behind these two parties and anybody can pick up those seats. Anybody. That's not smart at all. We should make these people work for the freaking leadership role. Not just money this, money that. Oh, we got some big super PACs this year. And now, like Kamala Harris, she wasn't even running for very long, and all of a sudden she had all that cash. That should be looked into. We shouldn't be able to just all of a sudden there's no one for the party, and then the next thing we know, it's the most funded party. I've never seen anything like it. I get it for everyone that donated. You were fighting for your own cause, but can you think about the lesser of two evils? Look at where we are at now. You guys were voting against where we're at now. What would have happened if Biden wasn't in here? We wouldn't have had all those illegals come over. We wouldn't have had ICE. I guess I'm glad that Biden wasn't. Is that how we should be thinking? Because we didn't stop it now. Now we have to get them all out. So here we go. So you can push a snowball uphill to the point to where it weighs so much that you can't even hold it there anymore, and then it takes you all the way back down. That's where we're at as America. And we need to open our eyes. Tell him how much I love and what he is doing for our country, then ask him if he would make my neighborhood great again. That was a great one, but like I said, you should definitely change your neighborhood. And like, I'm not into this whole gerrymandering thing and like the whole party system. And right now, it's too corrupt. They're manipulating the ability to separate the masses. And in order to do such a thing like this, without even being able to verify the votes with a name even, is, in my view, illegal. Because there is no real, you can't double check it. You can't check over the course of 4 years even how many people voted in the last election, because that isn't in our minds. It needs to start being in our minds. We don't need to make this electronic because that could be hacked unless we have quantum entanglement involved where these servers aren't going to be hacked. But that's still a little bit further. So there is a way, folks. I get it. I don't want to sit there and read all these ballots. I don't want to do it. No, of course no one wants to do that job. But it has to be done. It's like the police. When you have somebody out there driving drunk, if you don't have the police, that person could eventually one day think that it's okay to drive drunk so hard that they basically black out and they could cause a 10-car pileup on the freeway. And now, because you didn't have enough officers out there to make sure that this guy wasn't scared out of his mind to not drink and drive, people died. People that didn't even have anything to do with this guy are now gone. Who could have helped problems, who could have solved things, but they're too busy in their own rat race of life. We need to focus on, if we are going to be united as a country, we really need to focus on the problems and not the party that says that they're going to fix the problem. We need to focus on the problem. Because if we keep distinguishing, I'll vote for this party and all my problems will be solved, that's clearly not happened in the last 50 years. Why would you think it's going to still happen? Dinner and drinks. Open the door quickly and give him the biggest hug ever. Ask him for more ice, please. Huh, same, right? The bots in this comment section are hilarious. Who programmed them to protect PD files? Odd programming, but the poor people that vote Republican have never been accused of coherent thought. Okay, hold on. All right, we'll see if we can get him on, man. I really want to talk to this guy. Invite him in and make him dinner. Have a nice conversation. Maybe a couple of Diet Cokes. Have him say, sign my hat. Let the pit bulls out. See right there? Let the pit bulls out. I already reported him. You can report him. Some angry white dude. Super angry white dude. I would greet him politely and ask how I could assist him. He wouldn't knock on my back door. That's not the point. Invite him in. Invite him in for coffee since he doesn't drink and thank him for everything he has done. God bless President Donald Trump and his family. Let him in. Punch him in the throat and ask why the fuck he has not given the retired people the money he said he would. Do you see, this is what I mean. Here, I'm going to report it. I read through this. So when people take it too personal, see what I mean? Like, I'm a veteran. I was homeless for 10 years. I'm not making the president's problem my problem. These people are out of their minds and they need to be set straight. They need to go to some type of school to be taught how to think, because they're not sitting here in a way that is even cognitive thought. You're telling me you're going to punch the president in the throat and then ask him a question? Why the fuck he hasn't given the retired people the money he said he would? What I'm trying to say is, who are you to say that you are going to do any of that? I know he's going to get a call. Good luck. Maybe even a visit from the FBI. I'd invite him in and thank him for a great job that he's doing, and I'd order pizza and wings for us to eat. That's great. Thank him and shake his hand and give him a hug and beer. I would invite him in, sit down, put his feet up and relax just for a few minutes before he gets back to doing the terrific job making America great again. Thank him. Yep. Invite him into my home and call everyone I know to come over and meet him so we could all tell him how glad we are that he is our president. Great. Call Secret Service and say, did you lose someone? Yeah, I already took care of him. Well, come on in. Look at the class clowns coming out to play, right? Well, come on in, Perez. Invite him in and thank him for all he's doing. Faint. Let him in. Open the door. Welcome him inside. Invite him for dinner. Hug him and say thank you. Grab him, hug him, and talk his ear off and tell him I'm behind him 100%. Listen to him talk and have to get something to eat. I'd probably be in too much shock to do any of it, though. That's hilarious. Welcome, my president. My castle is your castle. I would beg him to fix up Australia. That is freaking hilarious. Open the door. Bring him in. Have a prayer for our leaders. Easy to pray for President Trump and his cabinet, most of the true Republican leaders, and John Fetterman, and a change of heart for the rest. President Trump would say, I'm here personally, thank you, and bestow upon you the Republican President Honor Roll. I would say, my honor, Mr. President. A bunch of meat riders in these comments. So see right here, this was like one of the first ones that I was seeing. Like this, he obviously means like swan riders or whatever down there. And it's just not even like, okay, bro. Like, I mean, I just reported him for harassment. I didn't even say the violent thing. It's just stupid. Like, if you really, like, believe that, bro, and you have the ability to say that, then you might want to figure out what all this talk is about instead of just sitting there like, ooh, look, there's actually a lot of people praising Orange Man bad. Why? Are these crazy? Are they bots? None of these people are bots, by the way. I would invite him in for a drink and thank him for his bravery and all that he has done for this country. And then I would ask how I could help, Mr. President. Just in time for a coffee. Invite in. Open the door and start singing for YMCA song. Nice. We would... Hold on. It is his theme song, Freddie. Hold on. That's funny. Okay. Would cook him the best barbecue he ever had, then a couple of cold Diet Cokes on ice. Invite him in and feed him. We might not be friends, but I would absolutely show great hospitality and thank him for caring enough about our country to do what is needed. You see? That's great. That's awesome. That shows humanity. That's not a bot. How are you going to show bot? Like, that's not, bot couldn't think like that. I give him a big hug and kiss on the top of the head and say, "You're doing an incredible job, Mr. President. You're a great dad." But if Biden or Obama showed up, I'd bring them to the wine cellar, make them repent for the little boys and girls they touched. Jesus. Obama and fucking Biden could do something like that. You gotta be careful, man. Open the door and order McDonald's and give him a hug. I'd order him coffee, offer him a drink and some homemade food. Tell him welcome. Tell him welcome? Oh, welcome in, as in welcome in. Nice. After I picked myself up from the floor, welcome, Mr. President. Oh wow, this is a long one. We're so honored, blessed, and privileged to have you in our home. Nick Shirley, please come to Cape Cod. We are overrun with illegal aliens. They have been changing our demographics, overburdening our schools, giving priority slots for housing and services. Cape Cod is building a massive housing complex on a golf course slated for low income. It will become a drop-off center for her home base program. Please send help. Helium is bankrupting our state, supporting illegal aliens. She is on video saying completing and supporting the legislative audit is not her job. She is hiding where our tax money is being spent for elections. She has no problem doing her job, spending unlimited and unchecked monies on her green agenda mandates. She and Wufu refuse to cooperate with ICE and safely take into custody illegal aliens and detainer criminals, overstayed visas, etc. Please come to MA. I don't know. If I figure out a way to do that, I won't forget. Have a whiskey with the greatest president. Thank him for all he's doing in the country. Have a Diet Coke for him. Well, I guess I'd have to go get one because I don't drink the shit. Invite him. That's the same thing I'd be in, no. Anyway, I would welcome him in with open arms. I would be very honored to have him come to my door. Just know I'm a talker, so I wouldn't be shy. There you go. Invite him in and come and cook him some fried taters with onions cooked with them and some cornbread along with some prayers and Christian love. Oh, that's awesome. And then have him go to bed and rest. Oh, that's great. I too would make him a meal. Let him in, offer a drink, then ask if he is hungry, then I would cook. Give the man a hug, shake his hand, and take him for a nice meal. DoorDash some Diet Cokes. Let him in and thank him. Invite him for a Diet Coke and thank him for the tireless efforts. That's like 10 on the Coke. Country safe. I would answer the door, invite him in, thank him for what he's doing for our country, then ask him to please shut down the chemtrails that are being sprayed daily. Okay, thank him. I would invite him in and cook him a nice meal and sit down and have conversation with him because that's how I am a United States Marine. Nice, there we go. Let him in right quick, open it, and then to say, come on down, we love you. Let him in, show him my Trump stand-up in my great room and all my Trump stand-up in my great room and all my pictures on the campaign trail getting him elected twice. Wow. Get Big Macs. Get a Diet Coke ready. Open the door and shake his hand as I invite him for dinner. I would love it. Invite him. Keep doing well. Stop cussing. Stop bragging. Stop marketing. Invite him in and thank him for having our backs. Apparently they took off the gun one, but I took a picture of it. Invite him back and thank him for having our backs. I would faint. Invite him in. Break out the Diet Coke. Let him pour a cup of coffee and listen to everything he has to say. He's brilliant. Thank him for everything he has and done and invite him for a good meal. Would invite him in and thank him. Ask him what he could do to help or what they could do to help. Open the door and bow to him. Once I was sure it was him, I would open the door and shut off the lights. I would open up and say, what can I help you? Invite him in and offer coffee, whatever you can, whatever, be human. Be a human. See, that's a great one. See? Invite him in and thank him. Make him dinner and thank him for a good job well done. I would say, come on in, hugs and some dancing. Bring him inside, lock doors, and sit and have a beautiful conversation, then do whatever he asks. He's saving this country from doom.
I would invite him in and thank him, tell him it's an honor to have him in my home, open it and ask him inside, invite him in for coffee, a warm welcome, thank him, invite him, open it. I would make him an awesome meal and thank him for saving LUES around the entire world. Welcome him in, cry some, then ask if he wanted for dinner or if he preferred to go to McDonald's. Invite him in, give him a beer, invite him in and give him a big hug and let him in and thank him. That was a doctor. Shake his hand. I would gladly welcome him in for dinner and dessert. I would let him in and converse with him. I invite him in for some chickens, nuggets, and fries. Overcook some steak. Welcome him inside. Thank him for all he has and in his doing for all of us and pray with him. Invite him in and have a nice chat for sure. Open and welcome him. Cook him dinner. I would tell him to. Oh wow, that's nice. I'd freak out because I don't have the freshest ingredients to serve as a meal. This man deserves nothing but the finest. And hey, there we go. Invite him in, answer the door, invite him in, have a conversation over sweet tea and think of a few things. Invite him in over Diet Coke, welcome him in. And invite him in and share my thoughts while he's doing. Let him in. Invite him inside for a cuppa. Open it. Thank him and ask for him to sign my flag. I don't know, I forget what I put there. I just laughed, that's what I laughed. Call cops and charge with trespassing and harassment. Shoot the, oh, okay. And this is where I was pretty much done. Get him a cup of coffee and thank you. Oh my God, come on in. Spend as much time with him as I could. Thank him for making our country good again. I would have him for dinner. I would have him in for dinner. Okay. Hug him and thank him. I would invite him into a house. Thank him for fighting for the country. Open it and thank him for all he does for us. Open it. Come to my house anytime. Invite him in. Come in. Let him in. Definitely invite him in. Invite him in for a cheeseburger. I would say, welcome, Mr. President. Come on in. Invite him in and probably pass out. I'd invite him in for dinner and say thank you. Run to the doctor and ask him for a pie and coffee and Diet Coke. Fall to my knees and thank him for all the work he's done. Invite him in and thank him for all he has done. Say, welcome, Mr. President. Thank him. Invite him in. Well, the first day would be thank you for all you've done. And then the second thing would be I'm praying for you every second of the day. Psalm 6 and Psalm 35. Come on in. Open my door. Invite him in. Thank him for everything he has done for me and my country. Tell him how much I respect him and feel he's the best president ever. I thank him for many hours that he spends keeping his country safe. I guess that's a starter. Invite him in. Invite him in. Give him a big hug. Invite him in. Thank you. I would thank him for saving America and invite him in for dinner. Order some Mickey D's for the man. Swing the door open and usher him in. Pray for Israel. Time to have a Diet Coke. Grab my kids and run because he isn't alone. And they are all have a Diet Coke with him. I'd let him in, offer him a coffee, and ask him why he is walking around unprotected in Canada, where all the elbows up Mormons want him dead. Welcome him. Open the door, invite him in, and ask if he'd like a Coke, a Diet Coke. Ask him for a meal. Send out some Big Macs. Invite him in. Okay. I would wrap my arms around him and thank him for saving our country and the world. I love my President Donald J. Trump. We have such a great time. Ask him in, put his feet up, make him a cuppa. I would tell him to grab a broom and a clean house because he's really good at it. Oh. Invite him in for a tea. Thank him for inviting him for dinner. Invite him in and thank him for all he's doing for our country. Invite him in, of course. Bring him into the house with some iced tea and thank him. Ask him where my check is for all those billions of dollars he found, all those taxpayer money that was donated to those bullshit funds in the other countries like transgender studies in South Africa. Come on in, you need a Coke. Open it wide. Welcome him in and offer him dinner. Invite him in for Diet Coke and a Big Mac. Thank him and offer him dinner. Open it up and say, come on in, my house is your house, and welcome him in with open arms and thank him for standing up for the people of America. Come on in. Invite him in for a cold Diet Coke And that's as far as I got. But I wanted to show you guys. Got this going on here. And see how he says, Coleman Murphy guitarist, get my rifle. That is not there anymore. That comment is not there anymore. He either got scared and deleted it, the admin deleted it, or somebody actually already contacted him, which I doubt. So in my opinion, I'm going to do my work with this guy, because this guy right here was the reason why I was talking about earlier. I said, Trust, I reported you to Washington, D.C. Expect a call. Now, this is something that I think we all should be doing. When we see people acting in violence and say they're going to do something violent against the president, we have to form a coalition and report this to our House of Representatives. We have to tell these freaking people in Congress that there's too many loony bins out here with no one in them, and the loony bin people that are supposed to be in the loony bin are running the streets. And we can't live on the streets anymore, right? Because the governor made, let's say, homelessness illegal, Newsom. So why are there so many mentally ill people on the street if you still can't live on the street? Now, you tell me what that is. They don't want us to go on the street because they want us to be scared. They would rather us be at home and do the bare minimal to get by, because they don't want to have to go out there and risk anything because they know life's too risky. So in my opinion, it's just one big double ploy. It's everybody keeps playing on the same cards, and which card are they going to pull and which one are they going to work on in their 4 years and take the super long way around to not get anything done, apparently. So I would definitely report Coleman Murphy guitarist, because I mean, that is just something you shouldn't be saying, especially if it's anywhere near just the president's picture on a porch. You should not get your rifle. You should not. I couldn't find that again. Isn't that ironic? So if we, I know there's people out here thinking this, but I'm tired of them saying it. I'm tired of them getting away with actually saying the thing, and then we get mad at them when they do it. Now, when they say the thing. Once I'm sure it was him, I would open the door and shut off the lights. We just looked at that, and that comment was gone in between these two people. I remember that comment now, and it was gone. So I want to tell you guys that you guys can actually do something. I reported that before I made this video, and that comment's gone. You guys need to stand up and not just allow this trash to perforate the internet and make an echo chamber so loud that it radicalizes your young kids, and it radicalizes everyone that just thinks that they're going to be the next thing that is going to fix America. And that is not how we're doing this. It is the call to fix America. But if you think by getting a rifle or saying that a rifle aimed towards our president is going to change for the better, you better think twice, and you better be reprimanded for this, because I am not sitting silent, and I am going to be telling my House of Representatives about this specific person, and I hope he gets to be put on the news, because this stuff right here is the reason why people get emboldened, and they say, you know what, I'm going to be that guy. They want to be that guy that says that, you know what, I'm going to throw away my life. It's all nice in their head until they actually get caught, or they do the thing and then they commit suicide because they know they're not going to get away with it. So what is the point of saying irresponsible things like this, like get my rifle, when 100 people were just saying let him in? You're gonna get your rifle? I hope you get put in front of a firing squad. I know that's a little harsh, but look, I'm done. That was my rant for today, but you definitely need to get on your horse and go throughout these social medias and let these people know like what they are doing wrong. Like, if they are not checked at all, they're just thinking they're on the right, chiming in, causing this wave of whatever. And when it doesn't amount to anything, they get violent. But the reason why everything that we're doing is amounting to everything is because, number one, we took Maduro without having to put boots on the ground. We took Ayatollah Khomeini out with the help of Israel. The same people are saying, we hate Israel. Why are they, getting all our money? Doesn't it make a little more sense now? They have the boots on the ground. Okay? We're not doing that. All we need is some bunker buster bombs flying from Missouri over to Iran from an air bridge and dropped. That's all. Israel's right there. They live there. They have to deal with this stuff constantly. Get my rifle? That's literally what people in Israel would be saying when they hear crazy shit outside their door all the time. But, like, do we have to live like that? No, we don't.
Thank God we're in America where people are so entitled that they think that they can hide behind their screens and say, I'm going to get my rifle just because there is a meme of the president on a porch. Goodbye.